Welcome to SciSage, where everything is simple. Today we're diving into something that a lot of us have experienced, something a little mysterious. We're talking about waking up suddenly at 3 a.m. We're going to explore a really compelling spiritual perspective that says this isn't just a random glitch in your sleep, but a moment with some seriously deep mystical meaning. You know the feeling, right? 1 minute you're out cold, and the next, bam, your eyes just snap open. You look at the clock, it's 3 a.m. The house is totally silent, the world is dark, and there's no way you're going back to sleep. It feels important, doesn't it? Like something is different. Well, according to the source we're digging into today, that feeling is spot on. It argues that waking up at this specific time isn't just your body clock being weird. It's a powerful signal, a spiritual wake-up call with a message meant just for you. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll get into why this is seen as way more than a coincidence. Then we'll unpack 4 specific spiritual meanings behind it. After that, we'll cover what you can actually do in that moment, and we'll wrap it all up with a final perspective on this pretty unique experience. So let's start with the big idea here. This viewpoint completely reframes the whole thing. It's not an annoying interruption to your sleep. No, it's presented as a totally intentional moment, set up for a very specific reason. This quote from the source really gets to the heart of it. The whole idea is that this moment is precious. It's not a waste of time. Whether it's about your job, your family, or your own spiritual journey, the belief is that you've been woken up because something important needs your attention right now.
So, if it's on purpose, what could the message possibly be? Well, our source material breaks it down into 4 key spiritual meanings. Let's jump right into the first one.
First up, the first potential meaning is that this is a critical time for divine warnings and directions. If there's danger up ahead, or maybe you're at a crossroads in your life and you need guidance, this quiet moment is seen as the perfect time for that message to come through loud and clear. And to kind of paint a picture of this, the source points to the biblical story of Joseph. He received a warning in a dream to get up and protect his family. This is held up as a classic example of how these 3 a.m. messages might work, as absolutely crucial protective instructions. The second meaning is this idea that these early morning hours are a critical time for prayer. This perspective basically describes life as a kind of spiritual battlefield, and it suggests you might be woken up specifically to stand your ground against negative spiritual forces. Our source uses this contrast to make it super clear what kind of conflict we're talking about. It's not a physical battle, it's a spiritual one. The view here is that an enemy might try to attack when you're most vulnerable, like when you're asleep. So being woken up is a call to be alert and to engage in prayer. Third, this one is all about connection. Think about it. All the distractions of the day are gone. The argument is that the profound quiet of 3 a.m. is the absolute ideal setting for a personal, intimate encounter with God, completely free from the noise of our busy lives. And the fourth and final spiritual meaning? The logic for this one is actually really simple. Your mind is clearer. Before the day's to-do lists and emails and worries start to pile up, you're just more receptive. This perspective suggests you're woken up at this specific time because your spiritual senses are at their absolute peak. Okay, so we've gone over the 4 potential whys from this point of view, but what do you actually do when you find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m.? The source gives us 5 really concrete actions to take. Here they are, real quick. Pray, be silent, seek clarity, study, and observe. Let's just briefly touch on the purpose that's offered for each one. So each of these has a very distinct purpose, right? Praying is for communicating and for defense. Silence, that's for listening. The quiet is seen as perfect for getting clarity on big decisions. It's an ideal time to study scripture without any distractions. And finally, on a super practical note, observing your environment could be a nudge to check if a door is unlocked or if something just isn't right. So let's bring all of this together now. The big picture perspective that's presented in our source material is a complete reframing of that 3 a.m. wake-up call. This right here is the key takeaway. Instead of seeing it as this annoying interruption that messes up your sleep, this perspective encourages you to see it as an invitation and an appointment you didn't even know you had, offering this incredible opportunity for connection, for direction, and for protection. So that really just leaves us with this final thought. Now that you have this particular perspective and its suggested actions, the next time you find yourself awake in the dead of night,
What might you be listening for? What message could be waiting for you in the silence?